In 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's Illski! Welcome to the Illski Show, where we discuss success, prosperity, and vision. I'd like to thank you for visiting with us today. We have a slam-packed episode for you. We hope that you enjoy it and that you get a lot from it. We're going to share some experiences with other entrepreneurs on your level and higher, and hopefully you'll learn enough to excel beyond where you are right now. You may be wondering why I'm in all black today. Well, today is my day to exhibit mentally, verbally, psychologically, and with fashion, black excellence. And when I say black excellence, please don't get it misconstrued. The black excellence I'm talking about is your bank account. If your bank account is in the black as an entrepreneur, you're doing good. You're above water. You're not in risk of being in bankruptcy or defaulting on loans or not paying your employees. Well, that's what I'll say for that. And what I'll say for this: black excellence is what I am. Black excellence is those descendants of the American slave that came up out the gutters for 500 years of fighting to become businessmen and women, to excel in and above their occupations, their class, their community, their restraints or constrictions that have been placed on them. We went past, we went beyond. And that's black excellence. Black excellence is an example that should be followed by all races of men and women. And the example can simply be stated as this: a setback ain't a setback unless you sit back. Sometimes a setback is a setup for you to get beyond where you thought you could be. That statement there is black excellence, because that is exactly what the African descendant of slaves did here in America. Now let's get to the message. Can we all agree that if you have a bad home relationship, it can affect your business, and where your setback comes from can be a direct result of what you have going on at home? In 2016, I had a lot going on in home. And in 2016, I went from owning a transportation company and providing for myself, my family, and some friends, to not having money, to being a server, a 39-year-old server at an Irish pub in a 95% white town with $40 a day tip and the lunch. I pushed forward. Some people may have looked at it and said, damn, he doing bad. But while all of that was going on, I was preparing my mind, not knowing my next move, but I was preparing my mind to achieve whatever I could when the opportunity came. So in 2016, September 30th, I believe, I hopped in my raggedy 2000 Lincoln Town Car, and I left North Carolina at 11 o'clock at night. I headed back to my hometown, which I hadn't seen in 28 years, Decatur, Illinois. I headed back. I pulled up at my brother's house around 10 o'clock the next day, October 1st, and I began to revamp my spirit and my mind. Within 12 days, I had landed a job as a telemarketer for a business-to-business debt collection agency. Within a month, I was the marketing director for that location, the location in Florida, and the location in South Dakota. Not only was I the marketing director, but I was allowed to train in marketing while I was paid as a marketing director. Now, how did that happen? This is how it happened. When I went through the turmoil at my house and I was being a server at a bar, I was also looking to the future. And so I began to take online classes in Facebook marketing. Actually, I took those classes through Facebook, and for every class I completed, I got a certification. And I think I had completed about 33 classes, and I felt well versed in how to market via Facebook. So when I got this job as a telemarketer for the business-to-business debt collection agency, I overheard throughout the weeks or so that I was working there, I overheard the president of the company speaking with the CEO who was in Florida and another gentleman who was representing his marketing firm or was representing Google. They were talking about how much it was going to cost to market the company on Google. Well, as soon as I had an opportunity to speak up, I spoke up. I spoke elegantly, I spoke elegantly, knowledgeable, and with assurity. Well, after the conversation, I was called into the office maybe a couple days later, and I was offered the position. I was offered an office. I was offered bonuses that no one else in the building had, and I had only been there probably for about a month. See, what some people call a setback, me leaving North Carolina in the middle of the night with $100 in a Lincoln Town car that was scraping the highway every mile of the way, to arriving at my brother's house, me, without having a game plan as to what I was going to do beyond the fact that I knew I was going to do something. All of that from the individual who owned his own transportation company, did very well, made good money, okay money, and seemed to have everything together. It would seem that coming from one point to another point, it was a setback. But it only would have been a setback if I had a setback. I didn't. I kept moving forward. I kept pushing. And even though I didn't have the answers every step of the way, I made sure that I continued to push forward every step of the way. See, this message is touching to me, and it's in my heart, and it keeps me motivated throughout the day. There is nothing that could prevent you from reaching your grand destiny as long as you understand that there is no time to give up. There's no time to sit in your sorrow. There's no time to try to figure out a way to wiggle out of the turmoil that you come face to face with. When you reach it, you fight through it, you get through the other side, you look back, you smile, and you push forward. Because you are on a mission, and that mission is to be the best you that you can be. So no, a setback is not a setback. A setback is a setback if you sit back. But 9 times out of 10, a setback is a setup for you to come up. Well, let me tell you, after working for the company for 6 months and really learning a lot on the job and making a lot of bonds with the owner and the CEO, the president, and all the different heads of branches, it was time for me to leave and head back to the Carolinas because I have 7 children and I was too far away from my children. So I headed back to Carolinas, but this time when I headed back, I had more than what I had left with. I've had a lot more money, a better attitude. My mind was on point. My body, I worked out an hour before work and an hour after work every day, so I was in a good, healthy state. And spiritually and mentally, physically, psychologically, I was on point. I had a good plan. It didn't work out like I wanted. Well, this is what I did, because I wasn't with more setbacks. Nah, they don't happen to me. I take advantage of opportunities as they arise. I make the best of them, and then I make them work into my bigger plan. So I went to a dealership and I wanted to market their cars. However, it was very hard for me to get in contact with the person that made the decisions, because there's so many people coming to speak in the ear of the managers, because everyone wants the automotive dollar. So I said, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a job for the dealership, sell the most cars, be very successful, get them to sit down with me, and then I'll lay out my game plan. Well, what happened was I found a passion that I knew nothing about. I didn't know I had an extreme passion for that type of sales. I found myself and I excelled. So everything transpiring from 2016 could have been considered a setback. The step up, the setback again, the step up. It could have, most people would have stopped at one point, but not me. So it went to the point to where in 2016, I was in my car, staying with my brother, got an apartment, left the apartment, headed back to Carolinas, didn't have a place to stay, stayed with a friend, wound up getting a house, working with a company that was able to train me to make thousands and thousands of dollars. I began to reach financial places I had never been, connect with individuals I thought I would never have the opportunity to sit with, to purchase a home, my first home, which is a gorgeous home. Financed my first car, bought this, bought that, did this, to the point to where now I'm running a fucking talk show. I have multiple companies that are up and going and that have positive bank accounts that are in the black. No, my setbacks were not a setback. They were a setup for a come up. So I had to step up. And that's all I want to say today. This is going to be short, sweet, not a lot of movement. Unless you like a lot of movement, I could move around. I could do this. But yeah, my setbacks were not setbacks. They were setups to step up for the come up. And the words that I like out of that whole phrase, up, up, up. All right, it's been nice. I'm gonna go ahead and get to the next segment. Thank you once again. I hope that this message touches you in a manner that will empower you to move forward regardless of what life may bring to you. Believe it or not, if you've gotten up before, you can get up again. Once again, welcome to the Illski Show, where we talk success, prosperity, and vision.